Ah, yes, British Mandate Palestine, the time period in which the modern state of Israel was kind of born, but also not really. So let's do a quick review. The Ottomans ruled over Palestine until they got their heads blown off in World War I. And in 1917, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration saying that they kind of maybe supported the idea of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Then in 1920, the San Remo Conference officially gave Britain control of Palestine as a mandate from the League of Nations. But the British didn't actually start enforcing their mandate, 1922. And so that brings us to the next point. In the early 1920s, Zionist institutions started taking shape in Palestine. There was the Jewish Agency, which kind of acted as a temporary government. They set up the Haganah, which was a Jewish defense force, and they began promoting Hebrew education and establishing settlements and agricultural communities called kibbutz. Now, the Zionists were not the only ones immigrating to Palestine. Between 1919 and 1933, about 500,000 Jews came to Palestine in what is known as the First, Second, and Third. They purchased land from absentee landlords, mostly in the coastal areas and in the Galilee, and they started building. But this all made the Arabs who lived there very upset, because they didn't like the idea of these Jewish immigrants taking their land. And they didn't like the implication that they would become a minority in their own homeland. So in 1920, 1921, and 1929, there were riots and outbreaks of communal violence between the Arabs and the Jews, the worst of which was the Wailing Wall riots of 1929. And then from 1936 to 1939, there was the Great Arab Revolt, which was an attempt by Arabs to fight against British rule and stop Zionist expansion. The British responded with military force, arresting and executing many of the Arab leaders. In 1937, the POL Commission proposed partitioning Palestine into two separate states, one Arab and one Jewish. But the Arabs rejected this proposal, and the British went ahead with it anyway. In 1939, the British issued the White Paper, which severely limited Jewish immigration, especially after the horrors of the Holocaust became known. This alienated the Jews, because now they could unflee to Palestine. And it also alienated the Arabs, because it basically gave the Zionist movement what it wanted, which was a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This led to the rise of militant Jewish groups such as the Irgun and Lehi, or the Stern Gang, who carried out attacks against the British. And so in 1948, when the violence reached a fever pitch, and Britain was like, I don't feel so good, they just packed up and left, which led to the UN partition plan and the First Arab-Israeli War. And for more on that, you can watch this video.